Wow, that was a ridiculous amount of cartoon peril. You ready to roll, Nick?
Alright, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I do enjoy touching stones.
Ooh, that's the way to start this this video. Touch some stones. So this is produced by Steven Spielberg, directed by Robert Zemeckis. That's all I'm giving you for today. I'm gonna stand quiet while I watch this amazing film.
That's not the point of the riff, though. We have to actually say stuff.
Yep.
I was just gonna say, so being that I'm animated and you're like live action, does that mean that you're like Eddie and I'm like Roger Rabbit?
Sure. I mean, this is like the perfect way to start out a movie.
Oh, totally. Every movie should start off with a, teapot on one's head.
I don't know how this got past censors with kids, man. I'm telling you, the last time we talked about Howard the Duck, this movie is not really meant for kids with all the innuendos in it, especially with Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, definitely. Well, and I just did Cool World, and it's amazing like how they talked about how this handled adult situations so much better. Like, it was in a way that it was kind of multi-leveled, where if you were a kid, you would get it on one level. But if you're an adult, you can get it on a whole different level. For instance, like that.
Yeah, the cleaver to the nuts, yeah, that thing.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy a cleaver to the nuts? But that's quite the blowjob he's got going on there.
I love this transition. So do you know who this is, the director? This is a trivia thing. But he's actually a very famous producer. It's Joel Silver.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, the producer of Lethal Weapon.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, that shirt alone makes him legendary, I'd say.
You know when you became an adult, when you notice Baby Herman, what he's doing underneath that skirt when he walks by? The woman with the skirt, yeah, he like looks underneath and he gives that like weird kind of not really PC look anymore, where he's like looking up her skirt and stuff like that. You know what Baby Herman does. I still want to be at a fly on the wall on how they got this movie to be made.
Oh, it would be fascinating.
Because, yeah, there's no way today you would have Warner Brothers and Disney characters in the same universe. I mean, unless Kevin Feige's producing, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. So.
Or unless Disney bought out Warner. To see this done like in a late 40s, early 50s way, I think that is just the absolute coolest thing. The way that they recreate all of that stuff, it's just amazing.
When it comes to films that I watched as a kid, this is up there with like One Crazy Summer is like the most watched film I've ever watched, and I still find things today about it. It's pretty fucking crazy.
You say this about a lot of movies, but it's got so much rewatchability. Like, it's just, it's not just cartoon and live action for the sake of it. It is downright just a good story. It is so well done on so many levels.
Exactly. Hey, look, Fantasia's on the loose.
Yeah, Fantasia's on the loose all over this damn set.
This moment right here, with the moment I talked about Gattaca, is the one movie that ever scared the hell out of me in a theater.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, it's Dumbo flying, and he's chasing nuts.
I mean, it's bad enough he got drunk off and we saw purple elephants, but now he's just coming out of nowhere, like that damn cute elephant. Now this is good hard work labor right here for the walking brooms.
Oh yeah, hey, they look like my mailman as a kid. He was actually that drunk.
He actually had a fish in his mouth.
Yes, all the time. It's really weird.
Can you imagine living in a world where this is just plain normal? Like you walk down the street and Daffy Duck is just sitting there, Bugs Bunny's walking across the street.
I think that'd be amazing.
I used to do this. Jump on back of trolleys, as a young kid in the 50s.
I was going to say you're 84 years old, so,
I know. Exactly.
You look good, I gotta tell you. And I love, too, like, how the whole, like, idea of Cloverleaf brought up later in the movie, like, the way it's described is, like...
Dude, it's ingenious.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the mass murder that Doom is trying to predict, outside of that, his description of a freeway and what that entails is, like, some of the best writing I've ever seen in a movie. Just the idea of it, and Cloverleaf, and yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Her hair, like, I can't imagine getting hair that tall.
I used to have hair that tall.
Nice.
And then like a month later, it went away.
If the bar comes a rock and don't bother knocking.
Exactly. I used to hate this guy. And I realized he's just a guy that has nothing going for him but eggs and beer. Like, who eats eggs and beer? Who does that?
You know, you go to enough small town bars and all of them have like pickled ham hocks and like pickled eggs behind the bar.
Really?
That's a small town like Midwest thing.
Get this straight, meatball.
I'm telling you, these people, these producers and directors, they were grooming us to say F this and fuck that and shit and asshole and every word in the English language, you know?
Oh, totally. Including meatball, which, you know, is one of the worst.
When you say meatball, you have to pay 50 cents.
Now, where do you find a size XXXX extra large gorilla suit at that time of night?
I don't know, the monkey suit store.
And we are now entering my favorite part of this entire movie.
The scene's so great. This whole segment's so great.
Oh yeah. Like the fact that all of the little trays and everything that's where it's toon and realistic thing interacting. The work that went into this scene for just background stuff just blows my mind.
Exactly.
And there's actual interaction between like the live action characters and the toons and the things that they're holding, and it's just the more I watch this, the more I'm blown away by that part of it. Wow, that's quite the palette he's got going on there. Plaid and dots and carnation and.
Well, I mean,
oof.
he is into hitting it with the animation, so he's very horny for that animation. This is one of those scenes, I'm telling you, when you were a kid, you didn't think about how insanely kind of creepy it was, because you have like Donald and Daffy like trying to kill each other. Then you have a very busty animated woman, and then you have all these horny ass guys who are like, "Come on, baby!" And then you have a guy going patty cake. It's like, it's the most insane thing I've ever seen. But we loved it as kids. So.
Oh yeah, well it worked, and it works on multiple levels. Because you think about cartoons at that point, how many times was Wile E. Coyote like hit on the head with an anvil or a massive pile of rocks, and nothing ever happened to him? Now, would you like to have your head waxed the way that?
Yeah.
Would that be good for you?
Live in this world where attractive animation people wax your head. I mean, it's like. It's just so wrong, but it's so funny in so many ways.
Oh, come on. If she came up to you, I bet you would probably enjoy it.
Well, maybe.
But you think about even like from and this is a terrible scene to mention it, but the detail. Like there is shadow and her gloves are reflective, and even this shot. Like the fact that his tie stays straight as it comes through her hand. Like that level of interaction is just amazing.
Well, we'll get to it later on, but the whole thing with the weasels and their guns, the live action guns, is there's like a documentary about how much work went into just doing that scene, and it's fucking crazy. Eddie Valent's like, wait, Roger Rabbit's married to that? Wait, what? His like mind is blown.
God, they go through a lot of booze for being toons.
I know, right?
Looks like there's some good stuff in there, though. You want anything while I'm digging?
Hey, there's a bottle of Johnny Walker.
There you go. See, I told you.
Yeah.
That was everything that the animators had to like drink in order to get through all of this. And I love the fact that it's patty cake and it's actually, patty cake.
That's their sex mantra.
The green of my coffee.
No, that's not the only thing that she's screaming for.
I actually never knew this. Did you know this is based off a book?
Yeah, actually I did. I didn't know it until I went back and rewatched it here not that long ago.
Oh yeah. My friend actually read the book, and it's supposedly, he says it's a lot darker than the movie.
See, we're seeing here my reaction to shots.
So my reaction is what happens next after this. The angry running through windows with my outline.
Well, and you're a tall guy too, so man, that must be a massive outline. You must go through windows like nobody's business.
Well, I can make myself look like a rabbit, so.
God, the cleaning lady is going to come in and go, what the hell happened here?
Just a little patty cake.
And the music, in this movie, just...
Good old Alan Silvestri.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't have to know the plot to know exactly what's going on by just the music. I need this alarm clock. It's That's a good trip to Chipotle right there.
I'm telling you, this movie is not meant for kids. They
No.
actually show the outline of where it like crushed his head in and stuff like that. And
As kids, though, I think you're more open. You know, you don't think about that stuff quite so much. You know, dude, I remember trying to drink that looked like dip, and what it did to my inside was basically this.
that doesn't sound fun.
No.
This is what my stomach does every time I eat Taco Bell. Careful, there's something sticking out there. He's just happy to see him. This is one of my favorite jokes in the entire movie, by the way.
He didn't know, so I asked the fireman, the greengrocer, the butcher, the baker. They didn't know. But the liquor store guy, he knew.
He knew. So nobody knows where Eddie Valen is except for the liquor store guy. That makes me laugh every time. He has no keys for the cuffs. What does he do with the cuffs? Like, what is he even doing in his spare time?
It's special time. So I gotta wonder, what does it take to get your driver's license as a cartoon?
You have to crash in at least 50 fire hydrants. You have to run over a few animated birds. You know.
Good to know. But not stars, birds.
Just like imagine like how they like. I'm pretty sure they did the live action gun stuff first, but then they have to animate it. Like how much of a nightmare that was.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine like they have to do this like scene several times because the guy's like, I moved the cable the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, and there's some pressure behind that gun too, because the way it's going into his cheek. That's right. You do have to respect a private dick's borders.
I don't know. You can't be kissing all the private dicks you want.
Just imagine a dude under the.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
And thus that joke was born.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hi, that's how I get rid of headaches.
Oh.
It works surprisingly well. It also works in other areas too, but mainly between my ears.
Now when I take a shower, this is exactly how I come out of the shower: pants and a tie. They're like, we're gonna offer you this movie, and you're gonna be bare chested against nothing, but then we're gonna animate this really busty chested woman, and she's gonna try and turn you on, and then your ex-girlfriend's gonna walk in, and your pants are gonna fall to the ground, and and then she's gonna say, dabbling in watercolors, Eddie.
Dabbling in watercolors, Eddie?
And then you're gonna hit your head with her fake boobs. It's good times, you know.
So how many kisses have you had like that?
I lost count about 7 or 8 animated kisses ago. I'll give it the rabbit for $500 at this point in my life.
Not 5,000.
Oh, 5,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just jump through the screen right now. I'll tell you where he's at.
Well, and 5,000 then would be a hell of a lot more now.
It's like a half a year's pay.
Yeah.
Or more.
Well, an apple pie is still 10 cents. You could spend your other bit of money on that still.
Have you forgotten what happened last time? If you don't stop this laughing...
Dude, they were cleaning up Malibu for a solid week after that.
Disassembling the place won't be necessary.
Where we're going, we don't need disassembly. Yeah, he's tweaking.
He is tweaking. So, shaving a haircut is basically like the drug of choice? Here's a question. Why would you need a 55-gallon drum of dip? Like, do you just keep that in your back pocket?
I'm sure they just, they put, like, tequila and some... They had a bottle of, like, turpentine acid somewhere, you know, when they cleaned the floors and threw in Homer Simpson's underwear. It was good times. This is how they got me to stop drinking. They psycho-reversed me.
I don't! You do! I don't! You do! I don't! You don't! I do! You don't! I do!
You know, Eddie and Roger kind of have an abusive relationship. Like, the amount of times that Eddie throws Roger through, like, walls and stuff, that's just not right. Did we ever find out what Goofy is? Is he a dog or, like... What?
I don't know. I was watching Stand By Me, and they still couldn't figure it out, so...
Like, Goofy and Pluto are basically the exact same thing, but they're not the exact same thing, apparently.
Goofy's like a Ninja Turtle. Like, he got injected with the ooze. Now he's just like something else.
Yeah, I wish my purse did that. I mean, If I can't carry a frying pan in a purse that's 2 inches by 4 inches, then what's the point? Dude, I totally want to kill someone using an old school editor.
It's like a Fargo death.
There you go. It's not quite as good as wood chipper death, but it ranks right up there. See, this is why you gotta take your bullets out of the casing and let them exercise a bit, otherwise they're gonna get fat. Alright, so if you just came upon this movie, like, at this point, and, like, right when you get into the curtain, man, that'd be like going on an acid trip.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd probably be on some kind of acid trip right now.
Don't go towards the curtain! No! Don't go towards the curtain! Being part Toon, I disavow all of this. Like, these are none of my relatives.
I love the art style they're going for in this.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
Old 30s and 40s art style.
Oh, it's totally, like, right on.
See, if you ever go out to California, this is exactly what the Toontown area looks like.
Hey, he got birds! Oh, I loved Droopy so much as a kid, like,
I know,
truly.
Right? I love the eyeballs and the faces on the bags.
Did you ever see, like, the green screen stuff of this part of the movie? The physicality of this man is just mind-blowing.
So he's basically just by himself filming the whole thing?
Yeah, basically.
Like, there's literally nothing there but him?
Him and a green screen, yeah. Okay, glad to say I've never had that reaction to a guy. Does that happen to you often?
Always.
I always wondered what a men's restroom was like. I'm just gonna say it now. Tweety is a sadistic asshole. So, fun fact, Disney and Warner Brothers made a stipulation that their characters had to be on screen for the same amount of time. That's why if you look at, like, Daffy and Donald, or Mickey and Bugs, they were on screen at the exact same time.
That's crazy. You know, I think we talked about this before, but you notice how the Disney characters never are the bad characters in the movie? It's always the Warner Brothers characters?
Yeah. Well, they were always a little bit more, I guess, PG as compared to G, you know?
By the way, if you ever want to get rid of an ex-boyfriend, just do this. Just get rid of the strip and push it to the wall.
Yeah, I will keep that in mind.
Porky off beef sausage. Whoopee cushion.
That is a proper face for whoopee cushion.
Beware of falling anvils.
Oh, that's so good.
Acme overused gags. I've never noticed this stuff.
Well, I did enjoy our time in Toontown, but I'm kind of also glad that we're not back there.
You know, once Toontown becomes like dark and like sinister, it like freaked me out as a kid.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Do you think after dark, Toontown turns into Cool World?
That's a possibility. If you see Brad Pitt wandering somewhere, you'll know.
Ooh, and if you see Hollywood, run.
Ooh, a nice booby trap.
That's so great.
This is the beginnings of Pixar.
Yeah, there you go. It kind of is, really. I'm still trying to figure out the plumbing of how he goes down that toilet and comes up elsewhere.
Well, this is like the early theories of Super Mario Brothers, so it's actually a warp pipe.
Ah.
This is where Bob Hoskins learned about Super Mario Brothers.
I never thought about that, but I love the idea.
Where did this truck come from? It's like, where did they have it at?
You know, it's Mad Max, like they imported it from Mad Max World.
Can you imagine if his plan worked and the diff actually went into Toontown, the horrifying show that would be?
Oof.
The amount of just like, it'd be like something straight out of a nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'd be like that acid trip that Beavis and Butthead had. The question is, how big is Toontown? Toontown has like no structural logistics.
Yeah, well, and you think about it, it doesn't really, like, they never really say what's beyond Toontown. Like, they say there's nothing beyond Toontown. Like, it's kind of like the TARDIS. It doesn't have, like, it's bigger on the inside.
It only is like 3 square miles, but when you get inside, it's like 300 square miles or 3,000 square miles.
Yeah.
That's me at 2:40 in the morning when I go into work.
Do you have stars around your head, too?
Exactly.
And let's just make note that Jessica's being held by her neck by that rope. That's just rude.
It's Toon S&M, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
She likes Pat. That's her Own version of patty cake with Roger. Man, they're both being held up by their throats.
Yeah.
What kind of kinky ass stuff did you make me watch?
Hey, you're the one that suggested this. Let's be clear.
I'm all about them eyeballs, you know? Eyeballs and kinky animated torture.
I probably shouldn't mention Betty Boop then, should I?
We'll leave that for another podcast.
See, now his reaction to that is pretty much my reaction to any Calliope music.
This is the best physical moments from Bob Hoskins.
Oh yeah, definitely. R.I.P. weird ass weasel.
All weasels go to heaven.
It seems like it. I'm surprised though. It's good to know that they have souls, and that brings up a whole lot of other theological questions that I'm not sure we have time to address.
Right. Is it? It's Batman.
I'm just gonna say there's quite the magnetic appeal between Eddie and Judge Doom.
There's no opposites attract in this one. He just like walks away for 2 seconds. Now he has a whole steamroller.
Well, he's a Toon. I mean, you know, steamrollers show up when you need them. I mean, that's a known fact.
Apparently. And if you're Austin Powers, you can kill a guy in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, totally.
Man, does he know what a tissue is?
No. Yours is that sticky? Wow, that's impressive.
Oh my god. Now he's gonna blow himself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's gonna blow himself up, sorry.
There's no doubt about that.
This is what I look like every time a video hits 1,000 views.
Oh, I can see that.
Daggers out coming out my eyes.
I always try and bring the heavy when I do videos. That's why I keep an anvil close by.
Right.
The saw attachment I have yet to get. But I do carry one with me on dates, and I make sure to put guys in that position so they know who's in charge.
Well, they always told you you're cut above.
And then I just get them all kinds of wet. So we know what this does to Toons, but do we know what this does to humans? Like prolonged exposure to dip?
It makes a good margarita.
Well, it's the right color for sure.
They call it the Toon dip. When that train hit that vehicle, that's when Ralph Bakshi was born.
It would make sense.
Actually, that's a good Easter egg. The trees and flowers was the first animated, animated or sound cartoon.
I could see it. That makes sense.
You know, Roger Rabbit's a cock blocker. Every time he tries to kiss Dolores, he's always like pulling Eddie Van Allen away.
Does that answer your question?
The college years.
I'll bake you a carrot cake.
Is that like patty cake?
Yeah, that's the hardcore version. Carrot cake.
Two independent hardcore ladies and their goofy ass mates.
Now I gotta ask, where's Dolores and Eddie Valiant going? Are they gonna go into Toontown and then like he's gonna meet his like ex-girlfriend and oh, this is some great trivia right here. This is Disney going, we ain't gonna let you end this film with shit. We're gonna have Tinkerbell.
Nice. Well, it makes sense given what it was.
I don't care what anybody says. I think it's a really important film. I think it's one of the most ambitious films ever made. I just love it. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I love it, every minute of it. I have friends who've worked on some of the Roger Rabbit cartoons spin-offs that have come out since.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, every moment that you watch it, you're just having a good time. And as you can see, a lot of funny jokes, a lot of humor, a lot of not safe for kids, a lot of kids fun.
No, agreed. And Disney did a lot of like the animated live action stuff. You go back to like Mary Poppins and movies like that. But this was on such a different level than that. It was, like you say, there's no other way to describe this beyond ambitious. It's a love letter to that time. It's a love letter to all those characters. And they got so many of the voiceover people to come back and do these kind of cameo things. It's incredible. And
the thing that's nice about us growing up with a film like this is level that you start getting from the movie actually matures as you get older. So the things you didn't see when you're a kid, you see it when you're an adult, like the more adultish humor and the way things work and are represented in the movie. And you know, it's just it's pretty, when films are done right and directed right and are on point, those are the best films, because you can watch it when you're a kid and then rewatch it as an adult and it still works in perfect order. So
oh yeah, definitely so. Special thanks to Nick for joining me. Make sure to check out Movie Emporium for reviews, trailer reactions, and excellent ending explain videos. All links are in the description below. So what do you think? Suggestions for movies, trivial questions, comments, ratings, and an explanation as to what exactly Goofy is would be appreciated. Thank you so very much for watching.